Those who'll decide when the guns fall silent, when the bombing stops, should be made to look into these young faces. Afra Abuljud, 7 years old, killed while she slept this week. Her brothers Abida and Mohammed, 8 and 11, died in the same airstrike. Wasim Ajaj, also 11, fatally injured by the bomb that fell on his home. In 1 week, at least 25 young lives ended, while 3-year-old Riham Cairo represents more than 100 injured. Even as those with influence were preparing to talk ceasefire, the bombardment that shows no mercy to the young and vulnerable was continuing. These boys left mourning their brother Hassan, one of 11 children killed by barrel bombs dropped by government forces. Little wonder Save the Children made this appeal today.
Every day that goes by where there's still aerial bombardment and the siege is on is a lost day for a child in Aleppo city. So we are really hoping that the talks today lead to some tangible improvement.
One problem is that even in a city under constant bombardment, children will play. That's when many of them die. In Aleppo, this turns quickly to this. In the aftermath of an explosion, an injured child is carried away through the dust. The latest attack by Bashar al-Assad's forces and their Russian allies leaves this boy traumatized, and another who will play no more. It's a week now since this image of 5-year-old Omran Daqneesh drew world attention to the plight of Aleppo's children. As well as discovering what's left of the home where Omran was injured and his older brother killed, ITV News has been compiling as accurate a picture as possible of the dreadful impact on a new generation of Aleppo citizens. Recovering in hospital, we heard from 8-year-old Abbas.
صار صواريخ على الضرب هيك عم وصار علينا طلعت أنا تحت الإنقاذ وطالعوني والحمد لله.
ما بتلعبوا برا بالحديقة انت ورفقاتك؟
ما ولا لعبة على أول لعبة طمينة هاي السهلة نلعبها كله صواريخ.
Aleppo resident Abdul Kafi, who's been sending News at 10 eyewitness accounts, heard the heartbreaking story of Ali Abuljud, who lost 2 sons and 2 daughters in this week's bombing.
قلت لهم يا بابا إذا بدكم تطلعوا.
At our last meal, I told my kids there's too much shelling here. I should move them to the countryside, the father said. But his family said no. They should live or die together.
كلياتنا سوا أو منعيش كلياتنا سوا.
In a week that's seen 25 child deaths, we've also received remarkable pictures of a baby recovered alive from the rubble. A British aid worker sent News at 10 a rare glimpse of the basement of Aleppo's only children's hospital, where the premature baby unit was moved after the building was hit by bombs. 1 infant died in the attack. The survivors are now being cared for in sweltering temperatures. On social media, we watched the recording of a little girl's nursery rhyme interrupted. She escaped, unhurt, though thoroughly terrified. Before the week we'd been monitoring ended tragically, predictably, with loss and more trauma. Another week in Aleppo, and at least 25 more names are added to the roll call of a lost generation. 25 more young innocents for whom any ceasefire will now be too late. Paul Davies, News at 10.